I do want to get to Venezuela. The monthly inflation rate had reached a new high. Let me explain this. Every 17 days, prices double in Venezuela. Now that's inflation. And over the weekend, President Maduro, he won an election which received global condemnation. President Trump issued an executive order barring the purchase of Venezuelan debt. But he did not bar the purchase of oil. Joining us now is Vanessa Neumann, author of Blood Profits. Vanessa, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Always a pleasure to be on with you guys.
Why did the president, our president, not embargo Venezuelan oil?
It's not necessary. The oil industry is collapsing completely on its own. Production is nosediving because they can't pay their creditors, they can't pay their suppliers, they can't even pay their employees who are just stealing bits of infrastructure to sell it, and their employees have been leaving. So if the U.S. sanctions the oil industry, then it will be, then the humanitarian problem will be pegged to them. Then they'll be like, oh, this humanitarian crisis is caused by the Americans. That will be the message, right? Produced. Okay. So the Americans can just kind of let it collapse of its own weight and not own the problem and not be painted as the bad guys.
Well, look, arguably, it's collapsed already. I mean, so I ask you this every time. When is the end game? I gotta know.
I don't know. Here's the problem. So even last night I was getting reports that, you know, there was another little skirmish within the intelligence services. Officially, like, you don't really hear about this, but there's basically the 28th coup attempt. That was just the 28th coup attempt against Maduro that was just put out because the Cuban intelligence services, which has, of course, Soviet backing, is so strong that the minute they start plotting something, they just take them in and arrest them. Hundreds of military commanders in prison. So they're trying to get him out, even his own people, but they're just too strong, the intelligence.
He's not going to get out, is he?
It's way...
He's going to survive, isn't he?
It's so dark. It's so dark.
You know,
no, I don't think he can. I really don't think he can. I mean, the hyperinflation is so bad. We've never seen a regime. It's beyond Zimbabwe. It's heading toward Weimar Republic, which is what set up World War II. And, you know, there are just too many schemes against them. The international financial markets, I've been told, even by bondholders, for instance, have said that they have calculated that Maduro leaves, which is why they're starting to coalesce into groups to sue the government, because they want to be first at the table in the restructuring. Right. That's why they're hiring lawyers, because they know that the transition is coming. They don't know when, but they know that it's already worth getting in line. Otherwise, they wouldn't be paying the lawyers, because you don't want to be paying the lawyers too long, do you?
Whatever you say, Vanessa, whatever you say. Separately, Hezbollah, terror group. You've written a report, you co-authored a report saying that Hezbollah, a terror group, is laundering money, Brazil, Paraguay and Argentina.
Yes, absolutely. So this report has become like a nuclear bomb with the Paraguayan government. I just did an hour of Paraguayan media this morning because... And yesterday, on Sunday, they announced that they were going to move part of the military because they feared an insurrection because of public reaction to press reports over a report saying that basically the tri-border area is this perfect money laundering terror finance machine. Because you have 3 countries where you can sell your illicit goods, 3 countries where you can launder your money or hide its destination, and you can hide. So the borders function for you to hide from law enforcement, which purposely don't work together, and they don't do any cross-border investigations. But you have this heavy Lebanese community on both sides, on all sides of the border. They're a huge merchant class, and some of that money goes to Hezbollah. And in the meantime, you have even the president of Paraguay, which is why I was having a difficult morning this morning, saying that, you know, he was producing 20 times the amount of illicit tobacco that is consumed in his country. So most of it goes to contraband, and a lot of it is moved by Hezbollah, which basically is the #1 terrorist group moving illicit tobacco worldwide.
How come you've got so much power? I mean, you're a commentator on Venezuela. Now you're exposing corruption in Paraguay.
Well, because that's what we do. I mean, I have for a long, long time worked Latin American security issues. Before the whole collapse of Venezuela, I also worked paramilitary reintegration in Colombia. So I've spent a lot of time on the ground in Colombia. So I understand these things of drug trafficking, and I've lived through them and sort of kind of like even and been in Lebanon with Hezbollah to research the relationship. So I'm well chronicled on this topic. And what amazes me is that they don't want to believe it. Of course, the government is pushing back, saying, you know, what's your credibility? I'm like, well, here's the 25 publications, the UN and Yale University. So,
well, I'm glad you'll come on this program.
Thank
and
you.
report for us.
Well,
but
this
I'm
is so
still
much
waiting.
fun.
I still wait for the end game and the end date in Venezuela.
Tell you what, you'll come down to Caracas with me and we'll celebrate together.
I really doubt
I really hope so. We'll broadcast from there. Wouldn't that be fun?
I really doubt we're going to do that. Thanks for joining us, Vanessa.
Thank you very much.
Come again soon, okay?
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.